If I told you your website could fall by 30% next year, would you panic? Well, most business owners would, understandably.
But what if I told you your inquiries could actually increase? Because thanks to Google's AI search and zero-click searches, traffic is becoming a terrible way to measure SEO success.
Welcome back to the AI and Marketing Podcast for local businesses, the show that gives you practical, proven marketing advice to help you grow your business right here in the UK. I'm Adam, best-selling Amazon published author, AI enthusiast and presenter, and founder of www.websitedesigners.london. We've helped businesses generate tens of millions of pounds online through smarter design and marketing.
And my name's Josh. I'm the founder of ImproveMySearchRanking.com, an SEO and AI search agency based in South London and three-time winner of the UK Search Awards. Over the past 10 years, we've worked with well over 1,000 businesses, helping them generate in excess of £200 million in sales.
Okay, the $1 million question for our audience and our listeners here. Let's start with this question for you. Have a think about this. If I could guarantee you either 100,000 website visitors next year or 1,000 new customers, which would you choose? Surely it's a no-brainer, right?
It does. It sounds obvious when you put it like that, but many business owners still measure their success of their SEO campaign and of their website based on website traffic rather than the most important metric that should be how many new customers are you getting.
Absolutely. So let's talk about an example. Business A and Business B. Business A gets 50,000 visitors, 15 inquiries. Business B, 2,000 visitors, 90 inquiry. So, question for our audience. Which business would you say has a better SEO campaign? Again, I think it's pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
Business B?
Business B.
Yeah,
all day
more
long.
inquiries.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so traffic is essentially a vanity metric. It doesn't move the needle in terms of, doesn't pay the bills. If you get more traffic, you need more revenue, and you get more revenue by getting more inquiries.
And then a thing that I kind of often experience is when customers come to me and say, look, I need a new SEO manager because currently I've got more traffic, but people aren't buying. The buying intent is lower, so people aren't buying, they're buying less.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sometimes it is, external conditions or other business, conditions.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, it's just a bad SEO campaign, focusing on higher traffic without focusing on, I guess, the intent and focusing on kind of conversions.
Of course. The conversions, of course, is the most important thing to focus on. But in all marketing activities, really, I suppose at the end of the day, that is the main goal. But I suppose the purpose of this podcast is to discuss AI overviews and the influence of AI and how that is impacting things. And it has been seen, there's been some research done by SimilarWeb and Spark Toro, which looks at what happens when somebody performs a Google search nowadays. And interestingly, only 30% or 30.5% of Google searches now result in somebody clicking through to a website, which means, of course, that about 70% of people end up not clicking anywhere. And another interesting side point here is the UK has the highest zero-click rate in the whole world. So for some reason in the UK, we just ask a question, get one answer, and we're happy with it, and we just roll with that. So traffic is going. Google's sending less traffic to websites. ChatGPT, different LLMs, they're not sending much traffic to websites at the moment. There's this new thing of zero-click searches.
Yeah. So should people worry about that, as a local business, or is it just simply about changing how customers buy? Ultimately, Google, as Josh just explained, if we just sum it up, it's no longer this search engine where people click on different websites to find out more information. It's literally the source of information itself. It provides the answer, and that's it. So AI overviews are absolutely changing the journey. One statistic that really stood out for me is when Google AI overview appears, studies have shown clicks to traditional search results can fall by around 30% because people often get the answer immediately without needing to go further onto the website to seek further information. So I guess if you think about the old customer journey, someone searches in Google, they visit, let's say, 5 websites, read a few blogs, compare businesses, and then contact one of those 5 businesses. Whereas a new AI journey, or sorry, the new journey, I gave it away there.
Mhm.
The new journey is someone goes into Google, searches, the AI overview gives a response, an answer, and also it shortlists the best businesses. So it does that legwork of the research, and then the customer ends up contacting one of those 2 companies. So ultimately, although fewer people may click onto your website, the people who do click are more informed because Google's already told them that they're the best business. And they're further through that buying journey because Google's done the research for them. Hence, they're going to have a higher intent of purchasing and therefore more of a qualified lead.
Yeah, I agree. So when people are using AI search, and our data from our campaigns suggests this as well, is that traffic that's coming from an AI source, whether that be Google AI overviews, Gemini, whether it be ChatGPT or Claude or any other LLM, those visitors that are landing on the website, the conversion rate is more than double a kind of standard Google search. It's really, really interesting data. So next up, we're discussing the difference between informational and buying searches. And this is something that a lot of businesses often misunderstand because not every search behaves in the same way. If someone searches a keyword or a phrase such as, what is SEO? Or another phrase, how long does a boiler last? Or another one, how often should I service my car? There's a good chance Google can answer that directly in the AI overviews. But if someone searches something much more specific and transactional, for example, emergency plumber near me, or SEO agency in South London, or divorce solicitors Bromley, or mortgage broker Maidstone, they're, obviously the intent behind those searches is somebody's looking to hire somebody, and those searches still generate businesses because people need to contact somebody. The AI overviews can't answer that question and or handle.
Yet.
No, yeah, no, no. Google can't come to your house and fix your emergency plumbing services as of yet, but maybe,
Well,
maybe in the
no,
future.
the compare businesses. So people like soon, I reckon there'll be, I think we've briefly touched on this, but Google will have an agent whereby it can call
Yes,
the
yeah,
business,
yeah,
ask them their price for a specific service, and then give you that price.
yeah,
So the whole comparing business.
yeah, yeah. That's going to be very interesting as well. Yeah, I agree with that.
So let's talk about the kind of the KPI, the metric that you should be focusing on when we talk about SEO. Um, so how do you measure SEO in the wrong way? Well, um, instead of asking how much traffic did we get, you should be asking how many inquiries or phone calls or booked appointments, quote requests, how much revenue has this generated? I always think about it from an ROI perspective. We always have done that anyway. Return on investment. So if you've got 1,000 visitors, 10% of them convert into an inquiry. Um, great. Now, if we think about 100 inquiries versus 10,000 visitors with a 0.5% conversion, that's 50 inquiries. So you've got scenario A, a larger number of conversions versus huge amount of visitors, but a lower number of inquiries because that 0.5% of the 10,000 visitors only gives you 50 inquiries. So again, just to labor the point here, more visitors does not equal more inquiries. That's what we're trying to say. So Google may send fewer visitors, but they could be better visitors. Less traffic does not mean less business. So what's a practical takeaway?
Yes. So, as a local business owner, what should you be doing here with the fact that Google's be sending you less traffic in the future? So, I think we need to think about becoming the obvious choice when somebody is ready to buy your particular product or service. So, rather than trying to appear in Google for all sorts of informational phrases, you need to position your business as the one that can actually handle the transactional element of the search. So that might include improving your Google business profile, making sure that you've got a lot of Google reviews, making sure that you've got all your services listed there, making your service pages on your website, using all those Google EAT factors we've spoken about many times before, your location pages, your case studies, you're demonstrating your expertise, you're building a brand, and tracking your conversions.
Amazing. So perhaps we've been looking at SEO through the wrong lens after all.
Google is sending fewer clicks than ever before, but if those clicks are coming from people who are ready to buy, that's actually good news.
The goal has never been to get more visitors.
The goal is to generate more customers
Stop obsessing over traffic.
and start obsessing over conversions.
But if you've enjoyed this episode, please do hit the follow button, give us 5 stars as a review, and follow us. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It just helps us keep going. Thank you so much.